Hi, everybody. This particular video is going to help walk you through the general concepts of basic uh, opening leads against the opponent's trump contracts. Now, I made this video for you to go along with our Series 1 Trump Play of the Hand lessons, and I wanted to give you a chance to see and learn a little bit about opening leads against Trump contracts. I'm not walking through all of this in our class together. This is sort of a side piece, but it's still good for you to know. So if you're watching this video, it means you also probably have the written packet that goes along with it. You can certainly send me emails asking me questions, and I'll try my best to answer those. But this specific video is just about the basics of making an opening lead when the opponents are in a trump contract. So let's get started. And in getting started, the first thing I want to tell you is that I'm going to walk through the information that I sent you in the packet. There's a lot of information that's background information. So if what you're looking for, honestly, is just the highlights, then what you can do is you can fast forward through this video until you see this great big slide summary. And then the following slides will just be summary slides about the topic. All right. In your packet, the written packet, the document, there's also an end section that's just the summary, just the highlights. And if that's all you need, terrific. Okay. But what I am going to do now is I am going to walk through more of the background, more of the nitty gritty about the basic opening leads against trump contracts. The truth is, you're not going to remember everything I'm going to talk about now. You're not. It's a layering process. So I'm going to walk through some basic ideas, basic background ideas about these leads that we're talking about. You take in what you can, let the rest go. You're going to hear it over and over and over. All right. So I'm going to get started with the nitty gritty. Here we go. First of all, what we're going to deal with here is background. And this is on pages 1 and 2 in your packet. I just want to talk about the background about opening leads. And we're really talking about the basics. When we get to series 2 of our Trump Play of the Hand workshops, I'm going to talk more about opening leads, but I'm just talking about the most basic things you need to know if the opponents have gotten their contract and you're on opening leads. So here we go. Let's say that your opponents during the auction have bid and gotten themselves to a trump contract somewhere in the auction. Okay. So now your right hand opponent, the person on your right, is the declarer in some level of a trump contract. And honestly, it doesn't matter what that trump contract is. It could be 4 spades, 4 hearts, 3 diamonds, 2 hearts, 3 spades, 2 clubs, 4 clubs. It doesn't matter. But they are going to have a trump suit. And it doesn't matter whether it's a game contract or a partial game contract. Okay. But you are on opening lead because you're the person who is to the left of the declarer. Right. So they're in some kind of a game contract. They're going to be using a trump suit to help them win tricks and make their contract. Now, why does it matter to you and your partner that the opponents are in a trump contract instead of a no trump contract? So let's just take a little bit of that apart. First of all, they're going to have the advantage of holding more cards in that trump suit than you and your partner, right? I mean, isn't that why they turned it into a trump suit? So if they have more cards in that particular suit, and that's the trump suit, and Trump wins, then they're going to have more winners in that suit than you do. Okay. And if they have more winners than you do, you're going to have to make up the slack somewhere if you want to win your own tricks, because they already have built-in winners because they've designated a trump suit. Secondly, they have one longish suit together That's how they got it to be the trump contract, right? That's why they designated it that way, because they had at least 8 cards together in that suit. And if they have one longish suit together, then it stands to reason that they're going to have at least one short-ish suit together. Okay? Now, let's think about Declare's hand only, just Declare. Yes, there's a dummy, but I just want you to think about the 13 cards in Declare's hand. If Declare has 5 of those cards as the trump suit, right? Let's say that Declare has 5 trump cards and dummy has 3. But you're looking at Declare's hand, and 5 of the 13 cards are in whatever trump suit they've designated. That means Declare still has 8 other cards in that hand, right? And those 8 other cards are divided among 3 other suits. We refer to those as side suits. Now, she's got to have 13 cards, so 8 other cards are in 3 different suits. Now, how are those 8 remaining cards divided among those 3 other suits? If they're evenly-ish divided, then you're going to have something like, 3, 3, and 2 in the other suits. You could have 4, 3, and 1. You're right? So how many cards does Declare have in each of those side suits? And the reason why I'm asking that is it probably stands to reason then that one of those side suits is going to be short. Has a singleton, a void, maybe a doubleton. All right? So if the Declare is sitting on 5 cards in a trump suit and they're 13 cards, it stands to reason that when you break down the other 8 cards they have to have in their hand, that one of those side suits is short. They don't have very many cards or any cards in it. Now, here's an illustration for you. So if Declare's in a 4-spade contract with that person's partner, right, this could be a Declare's hand here. Notice Declare has a 5-card major, right? They made that the trump suit. But when you look at the rest of the hand, in this case, Declare has 2 short suits. Has a really short heart suit and a short club suit. So Declare has length in 1 or more suits, will have shortness in 1 or more suits. That's just the way it has to be. So I'm going to ask you again, why does it matter to you and partner that the opponents are in a trump contract versus a no trump contract? Well, if the Declare has 1 or 2 short suits, then it probably makes sense that during the play of the hand, the Declare will become void in that 1 or those 2 short suits early. I mean, if you're going to play the hand, play the suit, she's going to have to follow suit, and then she's going to run out of the suit, right? So how does that happen? Well, either Declarer will play that short suit intentionally, trying to void it, or if they're short in that suit, you and your partner are probably longish in that suit. If they're missing cards, you have them. And therefore, that might be the suit that you really like. It's your longest suit, and you go to play it. And as you're doing that, Declare is following suit, but doesn't have many cards, and is going to void early in that suit. Okay, well, if they void early in that suit, then Declare is going to start trumping his short suit pretty early, right? You and your partner are going to have length in the Declare's short suits. You're going to be in love with those suits. But if it's true that Declare is short in your long suits, and Declare is going to run out of cards early in that suit, you and your partner had better get your winners early in Declare's short suit, right? You've got to get there and take your winning tricks before Declare voids the suit you're in love with and starts trumping against you, right? You're still going to have cards in the suit. So you and your partner are on defense when the people on either side of you are Declare and dummy. And on defense, you have to work on different ways that you and your own partner can communicate information back and forth about how to get those tricks early. When the opponents are in a trump contract, you and your partner are in a sprint to get your winners. You want to get your winners as quickly as you can because Declare is going to run out of cards in the suit you love and is going to start trumping your lovely suit early. If you wait too long to go after your winners, Declare will be void and it's going to start trumping it. The minute you start playing that suit as we move later into the hand, you're never going to get your best cards as winners. So we're on defense. The opponents on either side of us are Declare and Dummy, and we have to figure out how to get our best winners as early as we can. So what we're talking about now is the first thing we're going to do that on defense that's meaningful in helping us get to those winners early is the information that we share with each other on the opening lead against the declarer. So what are the opening leads I care about? How do I do this? What am I doing here? The person on your right is the declarer. Okay? You are the person to the left of the declarer, therefore you are on opening lead. You're going to play the very first card here. The opening lead sets the tone for our partnership on this hand. When you're the opening leader, partner, the lead you make, the very first trick is going to give me, your partner, information. You're going to tell me things like what suit you like best. That's part of what your opening lead does. It tells your own partner, hey, this is a suit I really, really like. I have reasons to like this suit. Your opening lead also tells your partner, well, what kinds of cards do you have in that suit that you really like? Are they high cards? How many? Do you have a lot of them? So opening lead can give that information across the table to your own partner. And remember, partner, you and I are playing defense on this hand. So we're working hard together, hopefully, to get our tricks early. And by giving me this kind of information on your opening lead, we're looking at my hand and trying to work on making sure I can get back into your best suit for you. Maybe we can go back and forth and make some extra tricks happen as early as possible. So we're going to talk now about two basic opening lead options when the opponents are in a trump contract. And those two options are, one is called top of touching honors, and the other one is called fourth down in the longest and strongest suit. And again, when we get to series 2 of opening leads against trump contracts, we'll talk a little bit more about opening leads. There's a little more, there are a lot of different kinds of opening leads you can make. We're going to talk about a little more nuance, but these are the basics. These two here on my screen, these are the basics. These will let you make opening leads against opponents' trump contracts most of the time. These will work just fine. Okay, so let's take these apart and talk a little bit about each. I'm going to start with top of touching honors. What are touching honors first of all? And by the way, as you're looking at this list here on my screen, this is the preferred order that you would do this in. If you meet the requirements to make an opening lead with something called top of touching honors, that's your first choice here. The second one is the fourth down, the longest and strongest suit. That would be a second choice on this list. All right, so this is in hierarchy order. So what are top of touching honors? Well, what are touching honors to begin with? Touching honors are two honor cards that are directly next to each other, right? So an ace and a king right next to each other, those are considered touching honors. King, queen are touching honors. Queen, jack are touching honors. Jack 10 are touching honors. And if it comes to it in a pinch, 10-9 are touching honors. Because remember, 10 is an honor card. It's just not a face card. We don't give it any high card points. Now, what do we mean when we say lead top of touching honors? What are we talking about? Well, what it means is on opening lead, if you have two honors that are right next to each other, you lead the higher of them. So if you have the ace and the king in a suit, and you're going to lead that suit, you lead the top one in those two in that honor couplet. So ace and king, you lead the ace, the higher one, the top of those two touching honors. If you have king, queen, you're going to lead the higher one, the king, in that king, queen couplet, and so on, the top of those two touching honors. Now, why would you do this? What's the point of doing this? Well, this is the first communication that you and your partner have on defense in the play of the hand section component of a bridge hand. So let's say that the person on your right is the declarer in 4 hearts. And let's say that you are on opening lead, and this is your hand here on my screen, and I'm also giving you your partner's hand just so that you see for clarity. You will not be able to see your partner's hand, right, during the play of the hand, not on defense. You can only see the dummy. So look at your hand, and you are saying to yourself, my priority is to lead top of touching honors. I look at that hand, and I see the king and the queen of spades. So your job here, your opening lead, is the king of spades. It is the top of the 2 honors directly next to each other. So we're still trying to figure out the why. Why are we doing this? Okay. First of all, you are telling your own partner that you have the queen of spades. You are telling partner that you have the honor card directly underneath the honor that you're leading on opening lead. All right, that's information your partner might be able to use. You're promising the honor directly underneath. So you are leading this king of spades. You're telling your own partner you have the honor directly underneath it. Are you expecting your king of spades to win that first trick? And the truth is, no, you're not. If your partner owns the ace of spades, then yes, you might be able to get something going. But most of the time, you're assuming that because the people on either side of you, who are now declaring dummy, had enough points to get themselves up to a trump contract at game level, they're sitting on a bunch of face cards, aren't they? A bunch of points. And so you should reasonably assume that your partner does not have the ace of spades. You are assuming your partner is not going to win this trick. You are assuming that when you lead the king of spades, you are not going to win the king. So why are you doing this? Well, what you expect to have happen is that you're telling partner that later in the hand, if partner ever wins a trick, partner should lead back the spade suit to you because you're sitting on the very next winning card. So let's say you've led the king of spades. And let's say that the declarer owns the ace of spades. Yes, the declarer is going to win that trick. But now the next winning card is going to be the queen of spades, and you own it. And you've told your own partner to lead the spade suit back to you because you are promising the queen of spades. Now, you might be saying to yourself, but I want to win. I want to win my tricks now. And I'm telling you, you can't win the queen of spades here. You have to remember that this is a strategy game. And you can't always win everything right up front. You're going to try and take as many tricks early as you can, but not always every single one of them. And sometimes you have to work on developing winners for a little later in the hand. And that's what you're doing here. You're going to bravely play the king of spades. You're not expecting to win it. You were never going to win those 2 spade honors. You just weren't. Not unless your own partner owns the ace. And your partner probably doesn't, because the people on either side of you declaring dummy are the ones with all the points. So you're playing the king of spades intending to lose it. But in the process, you are promising your own partner the honor card directly underneath it. And you're saying to your partner, look, if you ever do get on lead me back the spade suit. I'm hoping that the queen then will win a trick. Now, at that point in the hand later, is it possible that the declarer and the dummy or the dummy will have run out of spades at that point? And it's possible that if your partner leads a spade to you, that declarer or dummy will trump spades before you get your queen. Yeah, it's possible. But what you're always doing, especially on defense, is you're playing for the positive possibility. I like to refer to this as the helpful hopeful. What you're trying to do is say to yourself, well, what I need to have happen for our partnership is the queen of spades to win in order for me to win a spade trick. And therefore, I'm going to play for the positive possibility that it will win. And so I am telling my partner, hey, later on, lead back spades, because we're going to hope that the queen of spades at that point is still going to be able to win a trick because it won't be trumped yet. We're playing for the helpful, hopeful, the positive part of the positive possibility that our partnership can win a trick. But I'm setting up the information now for my partner. Now, look at the hand again, and I'm going to ask you if the opponents are in 4 hearts. I've already said you should lead the king of spades from your own hand. And I'm just giving you partner's hand as a general kind of informational thing. But again, you don't get to see your partner's hand during the play of the hand, right? You only get to see the dummy. But I am going to ask you as you look at your hand, was there anything else you think you could have led on opening lead out of your hand? I told you it was going to be the king of spades. Do you think you could have led something else out of your hand? Well, not the ace of diamonds, right? That's what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, why can't I just win the ace of diamonds now? Well, no. Why should you not make an opening lead of the ace of diamonds here? Well, first of all, if you lead the ace of diamonds on opening lead, you are promising your partner the king of diamonds. Right? Leading an ace on opening lead is leading top of touching honors. That's what your partner is going to assume. And the problem with that is that your partner is going to try and move heaven and earth later on to get you back to the king because she thinks you have the king. You're lying to her. So the ace of diamonds is not the lead here. And I also know you're saying to yourself, well, let me go back to this concept. If you lead the ace of diamonds, your partner's going to try and figure out how to get back to your king of diamonds because you promised her the king of diamonds. She's expecting you have the king. So when she makes when she wins a trick, she's going to play diamonds back to you, expecting you to win the trick, and you don't have it. You promised it to her, but you don't have it. I know some of you are saying, but I just want to win the ace of diamonds. Yes, you do. You absolutely do. But think about it this way. Isn't it likely that that ace of diamonds is going to win a trick at some point in this hand? It's not that common. It's not that common that if you have the ace of diamonds, that the declare and dummy, either one of them would be void in diamonds. It's just not that common. It's much, much, much more common that the declare and the dummy, they have at least one card in your suit. One, at least. Which means when they play that suit or when you play that suit, you're going to win the ace. They're not going to trump it. The only way that you're not getting that ace of diamonds is if declare or dummy is already void in diamonds. They came into the hand void in diamonds. And then the first time diamonds are even played, they trump. It's just not that likely. It just isn't. So you're going to win that ace of diamonds at some point in the hand. But there's a more important piece that goes along with it, okay? If you leave that unsupported ace, which is what you've got there, unsupported means you don't have the king directly underneath it to give it some support. You have an unsupported ace of diamonds. If you do lead that unsupported ace, yes, you're going to win the trick. Fantastic. But the opponents have the king, the queen, the jack. What you've just done, if you play the ace of diamonds on opening lead, what you've just done is something called opening the suit for the opponents. You've just made it incredibly easy for the opponents, once they get the lead, to start running down diamonds from the top. King, queen, jack. They don't have to worry about being stopped by an ace because you took that ace out of the way. You got it out of the way for them by playing it on trick 1. They never have to give up one of their honors to your ace, right? They never had to struggle to figure out where the ace was and whether or not one of their honor cards, when they start playing diamonds, is going to lose to your ace. They get to win all of their diamond honor cards because you got the ace out of the way for them. So leading the ace of diamonds on opening lead here is not a good idea because, first of all, You're promising your partner the king, and you're lying. You don't have it. You're promising your partner top of touching honors. Number two, by leading the ace of diamonds without the king, you're making it incredibly, incredibly easy for declare to maybe even earn an extra trick because they never had to use one of their honors to push out your ace. They never did. So in this example, if you're looking at your hand here and the opponents are in, let's say, 4 hearts and you're on opening lead, do not lead the ace of diamonds on opening lead. I know you want to win it, but you want something for it, okay? Wait until the opponents play their king or their queen or even their jack, and then gobble up one of their honors with that ace, all right? Get something from the opponents when you play an ace. It should not just be a loose card, certainly not in the beginning of the hand. Later on in the hand, you get to trick 11, 12, 13. Yeah, then you want to make sure you take any aces you still have. But in the beginning of a bridge hand, when you're starting to play it out, you want one of the opponent's honors for your ace. You want them to play an honor, and then you want to go, yes, I'm taking my ace, and I'm taking your king or your queen with me. Aces are meant to take the opponent's kings or queens with them, kicking and screaming into oblivion. You don't want to get, when you play an ace, what you don't want to get is the 2, the 3, and the 4 from the other 3 people. You want to get the ace or the king. So you want to wait until declare or dummy plays the ace or the king of diamonds, and then you're going to play your ace. Okay? All right. There's also more information on page 7 in your packet about how your partner would play opposite your top of touching honors opening lead. We're going to talk more about it in series 2. But right now, what we're trying to focus on is why you're playing top of touching honors. And again, the crucial point here, I think, is you are telling your own partner that you have the honor card directly underneath it, so that even if you don't win that first opening lead trick, you have now cleared the way for that next honor to potentially be the next winner, and your partner needs to remember to lead back your opening lead suit. Okay? Now, that was our first opening lead choice, top of touching honors. And at the end of this video, I'm going to do a quick summary, all right, of that. Now we're going to move to the second opening lead that we said we would discuss, and that opening lead is called fourth down in the longest and strongest suit. Okay. What is fourth down in the longest and strongest suit? What does that mean? Well, fourth down means you are playing the 4th card down from the very top of the suit, right? You're looking at a suit. If you've got 4 cards in the suit, you start at the top one, the highest one. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your opening lead. If you've got a 6-card suit, you still count down from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your opening lead. All right. What is the longest in this longest and strongest mean? Well, it means your longest suit. If you have 2 long suits, choose the longer one. All right. Strongest means the suit with the best face cards or the best spot cards. Spot cards are those cards in the suit that are from 2 to 9. Remember, 10 is an honor card. And so if you have 2 suits that are equally long, right? You don't have a longest suit because you have 2 4-card suits. Then what you look for is the strongest suit of those 2 4-card suits. And sometimes it's based on the honors, which one has the better honors. But if they have equal honors, that they both are topped by the king, then you look at the best spot cards, and you make an opening lead from the suit that has the better intermediate cards, the spot cards 2 through 9. Now, this fourth down in the longest and strongest suit is the choice you make if you cannot make an opening lead of top of touching honors. Okay? Now, let's take a look at an example of what this would kind of look like, just so you see what it is. Let's look at examples of fourth down in the longest and strongest suit. And this is on page 8 to 10 in your packet, I think. So in each of these examples, I'm giving you what the declares contract is. Not that it's meaningful just for these examples, but I said I just like for completeness to do that. And you're going to look at each hand, and you're going to tell me which suit you would make your fourth down lead in. None of these hands will have top of touching honors. And since none of them will have top of touching honors, you're going to instead make an opening lead of fourth down in the longest and strongest suit. So you're going to choose the suit first, and then you're going to tell me which card. So let's go take a look at hand A. In hand A, the person on your right is in a 2-heart contract. You are on opening lead. You do not have touching honors in this, so the first thing you look for is what is your longest suit? Well, you have 2 long suits right here, right? You've got 4 cards in diamonds, you've got 4 cards in spades. Okay. So then, because you have 2 equally long suits, you're going to look for the stronger of those two suits. When you look at spades, the spade suit is topped by the 9, and when you look at the diamonds, it's topped by the queen. So clearly, the diamond suit is a stronger suit. So if you were going to lead fourth down in the longest and strongest suit, since they're equally long, you go and look at strong, and strong means high card points. Strong means best cards in the suit. And so my opening lead here, I believe, would be the 4 of diamonds. It is the 4th card down from the top of the suit. Let's go look at hand B. In hand B, the opponents are in a 3 spade contract. You are the opening leader. You're going to make a decision here. You find your longest suit. Well, you have 2 suits that are equally long, 4 cards each. And that's what you're looking for, by the way. You're looking for a suit that is at least 4 cards. With 13 cards in your hand, you're going to have a suit that's at least 4 cards, right? You have to. So then you look at both of these suits. They're equally long. All right, so you can't choose the longer of the 2 suits. They're equal. What you then do is to move to stronger. Which suit has the stronger cards? And I look at these 2 suits and I see that both suits are topped by the queen. Okay, well, that didn't help me. And neither suit has another honor card. So the next thing I do is I look at the spot cards, the cards 2 through 9. Which suit has the better spot cards? Well, in this case, it's marginal, right? It's marginal, but the better suit is this club suit. It's got the 9, whereas this one has the 8. It's got a 5 instead of 4, right? So when you look at the first 2 or 3 cards in both suits, the club suit clearly has better spot cards. So if I'm going to make a lead here, my lead will be the 2 of clubs, 4th down from the top of the longest, strongest suit. Let's go look at hand C. The opponents are in a 4-heart contract. This is your hand. You're going to make an opening lead. The first thing you look for is your longest suit. Now, your longest suit is spades. You've got 5 cards. Now, some of you are saying, but I've got this good diamond suit, right? It's topped by a king. Yes, you do. You don't have touching honors, so you're not going to lead the king because you'd have to have the queen to go with it. Should you lead the 3 of diamonds? No, because it's not 4th down in your longest and strongest suit. You've got to learn to trust the process. Okay, so your longest suit is spades, and even though there's no honor card in it, that's not your guiding principle here. This is your longest suit. You don't need to worry about the strongest suit because you don't have 2 equal length suits. So what you're doing is you're going to lead 4th down from the top in this longest suit, and that puts you at the 5 of spades. 4th down from the top. I know you want to lead the 3 of diamonds because you want to tell your partner you have a king. Okay, but no. And I'll talk in a minute why you're doing this in terms of why would you do that instead of the diamonds. Give me a minute, I'll talk about that. Let's go look at example D. In this example, the opponents are in a 3-heart contract and you're on opening lead. Now you're looking for a 4-card or longer suit. Well, you happen to have 3 of them, don't you? All right, so you have equal length in 3 different suits. So now what you're looking for is the strongest, which has the best cards in this suit. The club suit has no honors, so let's just put that aside. The diamond suit has the queen and the 10, but the spade suit has the king and the jack. Those are better honors. So if I'm going to choose one suit to lead here, I'm going to choose the better of the equally long suits, the stronger with the best cards. I'm going to lead 4th down in that suit, which means I'm leading the 4 of spades. And in hand E, the opponents are in a 2-heart contract and you're an opening lead. You're going to look, first of all, for your longest suit. Well, you have 2 5-card suits. Neither of them are very pretty, are they? They're both equal length, 5 cards. So now you're looking for stronger. Which suit is better, I guess. When you look at these two suits, you have the 9 and the 8 in both. But then the third card, well, there's a difference. There's the 7. So just based on the first 3 cards in these two suits, the spade suit is better. You're going to lead fourth down in your longest and strongest suit. That takes you down to the 6 of spades. Okay? Now, why are you even doing this? Why are you leading fourth down in the longest and strongest suit? Especially if you look back over here, and I know that you really wanted to lead this diamond suit, didn't you? Because it had a king in it. Well, when you lead fourth down in the longest and strongest suit, first of all, I want you to think of that particular opening lead as a default opening lead. If you cannot lead based on any of the other opening lead rules, and the only other opening lead we've discussed is the top of touching honors. Okay? Like I said, there are other possibilities. It's a long list. We'll talk more about it as we go along. But right now, since the only other one you know is top of touching honors, if you don't have that, and if you didn't have any of the other ones that you'll learn, then your default, you have to lead something, the default would always be fourth down, the longest and strongest suit. Okay? Now, why lead the fourth down? Well, first of all, leading fourth down doesn't harm your partnership in any way. It doesn't give anything bad away to the opponents. It gives your partner a little bit of information, but it doesn't put you in a bad position by leading the wrong suit that you might in some other way. When you make a fourth down lead, what you're saying to your partner is, I have 3 cards that are better than the card I just led. I just led fourth down in my longest and strongest suit, which means I have 3 more cards above the card I just put out. So I do have better cards in this suit. And I might even have an honor card at the top. I might be leading fourth down from some kind of honor. Now, I want you, partner, to consider leading this suit back to me later should you ever get the lead, because I might have a winner in this suit as we go along. And that's what I'm telling my partner. I've got 3 cards better than the one I just led. Might even be an honor card that could be a winner. Okay? Now, if you're unsure about what to lead, leading fourth down, of all the rules that you learn, you've got a bunch of rules in your head and you can't figure out what to lead. Fourth down in the longest and strongest is a good safe bet. It doesn't generally hurt your partnership in any way. It doesn't give anything away to the opponents. Partner knows when you make a fourth down lead that you do not have top of touching honors, right? Because you would have led top of touching honors. So if you don't have touching honors, your partner also now knows that they're not going to try too hard to find more than one honor in your hand in other suits. They're not looking for like 2 honors together in any of your suits, because you've just told them you don't have that. Otherwise, you would have led the honors couplet, top of 2 honors. So while you may have some honors in your hand, you don't have 2 together. Partner's not going to try and move heaven and earth to try and get to 2 honors in your hand. All right? You are directing partner to lead back this suit, this longest and strongest suit. You are telling partner, when you get the lead this suit, because I have 3 cards that are better, maybe an honor card, maybe not. But try this suit, because I do have 3 cards that are better than the card I just led. Now, on opening leads, when you don't know what to lead and you don't have top of touching honors, here we go. I want you to lead fourth down in your longest and strongest suit. Okay? Now, I'm going to add one more little piece of nuance to the fourth down, the longest and strongest suit. And I'm going to tell you that there are a lot of players who have a hard time with this particular nuance. So my job here is to give it to you, to layer it, put it out there. If you remember it, great. But if you don't remember it, don't make yourself crazy. You've got years to make yourself crazy about bridge. I've said that when you lead fourth down in the longest and strongest suit, you're promising 3 cards better than the one you opened with, right? But, and there's always a but, you know that. When you lead fourth down in the longest and strongest suit, while you are telling your partner you have 3 cards that are better than the card you led, you are also strongly implying that at the very top of that suit that you're leading, you do not have the ace. one of your three better cards is not the ace. It could be the king, it could be the queen, but it is never the ace. When you're leading down, fourth down in the longest and strongest suit, you are leading a suit that has three cards that are better than the card you led, but not the ace. When you're leading against a trump contract, you do not have the ace in the suit. This is one of those defense agreements in bridge, where you and your partner and most bridge players have this sort of silent agreement that when you lead fourth down in the longest and strongest suit, you have three better cards, but absolutely not the ace. It is a shortcut, if you will, to tell your own partner, look, we're on defense. We have to make some decisions early. We have to communicate well up front. I have to give you information about my hand. So one of the pieces of information I'm giving you is, yes, I've got three better cards than the one I just led, but not the ace. If you're looking for the ace in this suit, I don't have it. Go elsewhere, because I don't have it. Okay? Now, again, lots of players find this a difficult concept, right? But it is an accepted rule in defense. And opening leads are considered a defensive topic. So let's take a look at a couple of these examples. Let's see if you can figure out the lead here. So you're on opening lead, and this is the hand you have, right? What's your opening lead? Well, you look for your longest and strongest suit, right? You have two 4-card suits here. So they are, neither one of them is longer than the other. If one of them were longer than the other, you would have chosen the longer suit. They're equally long. So they have equal length. You're looking now for the strongest suit. This suit has the ace 7-4-3. This suit has the queen 9-4-2. So you're going to lead the 2 of diamonds here. You are absolutely not going to lead the 3 of spades, because you do not lead a suit that is topped by an ace when the opponents are in a trump contract. You absolutely don't. So you're going to completely eliminate this suit. And no, you're not leading the ace. Don't lead the ace of spades. That promises the king, top of touching honors. So just forget this suit, the spade suit, for opening lead purposes. Later in the hand, go ahead and play this suit. But now you have to revert to the diamond suit, and the card you're going to lead is the 2 of diamonds, fourth down, and the longest and strongest suit, a suit that is not topped by the ace. Let's take a look at this hand. You've got 2 suits that are long-ish. You look for your longest suit. Well, that's the diamond suit. If you were going to lead fourth down in your longest suit, you would lead the 4 of diamonds, but stop, because this suit is topped by an ace. So you have to completely disregard this suit on opening lead. You are not going to lead the diamond suit, even though it's the longest suit, because you would be telling your partner, if you did go ahead and lead the 4 of diamonds, which is fourth down, you'd be telling your partner, I have 3 cards better than this 4 of diamonds, but I do not have the ace of diamonds. I can't help us. Instead, you're going to have to go lead spades here, aren't you? And so you're going to lead the 3 of spades, because once you eliminate the diamond suit, that's your longest suit, spades, and you'll lead fourth down from that, okay? So where are we? Let me hit the highlights for you of what we just talked about, because there was a lot of information here, and when we started, I said I wasn't actually expecting you to remember most of this, but I did want to give you the layering of why you do things. I think that's important, okay? But this is your takeaway. And in your packet, these are the pages that you want to think about having more handy than the big, long descriptions. The last couple of pages in the packet where I have this summary. So, are you going to remember everything we just talked about? Absolutely not. Not a chance. No way. Why did I go through all the background? Well, because some concepts will stick, okay, from what I just said. Because my job is to layer information multiple times in your bridge learning. You know, it takes about 3 years for you to become a basic bridge player. And in those 3 years, you're going to hear me talk about concepts over and over and over, because it is the only way that information will sink in, is repetition. And so I've mentioned this all now for the first time. All right, this is the first layering of this information about leads. You're going to hear it another 4, 5, 6 times. And during those 4, 5, 6 times, more things will click into place. But this was the first time. Okay. Um, you have a document, especially the summary at the end of your document, that you can return to if you need just the summary. But you also have now the detail in that document that might make more sense now that you may have heard this with me. And you can return to that from time after time and take a look at it more deeply and maybe absorb just a little bit more. So, what's your takeaway from this lesson? First of all, we care about two types of opening leads against opponents' trump contracts right now, only two. And the first one's called top of touching honors, and the second one's called fourth down in the longest and strongest suit. So, what is top of touching honors? This is when you lead, when you're an opening lead, you lead the higher of two honor cards that are connected right together against the opponent's trump contract. If you have ace king, you lead the ace. If you have king queen, you lead the king, the top one. Queen jack, lead the queen. Jack 10, lead the jack. 10 9, lead the 10. Okay? Top of two honors together. You are telling partner that you have the honor card directly underneath the honor card you've just led. You are telling your partner to lead this suit back to you if partner ever gets the lead. A top of touching honors is a defensive shortcut, right? It's for you and I as opponents to quickly get to our winners before the declarer starts trumping the suit that we love most on defense. All right? Okay, so that's why we lead top of touching honors. And now you have a better idea of what that means. Two honors together, lead the higher one. When we talk about the other opening lead against trump contracts, fourth down, the longest and strongest suit. First of all, it means you don't have any of the other preferred opening leads. And we've only talked about one, right? Top of touching honors. But as you learn more of them, what you're going to learn is they're all preferred over fourth down in the longest and strongest suit. You make an opening lead in fourth down as a default when you have no other of the preferred opening lead options in place. Okay? Not that it's a bad thing, it's just the bottom of the rung, right? So, if you're on opening lead, you look for a suit that's at least 4 cards in length. In that 4-card or longer suit, the opening leader is choosing the 4th card down from the top of that suit. That's your opening lead. If you have 2 long suits, then you choose the longer of those 2 suits. In this case, you've got a 4-card spade suit, you've got a 5-card diamond suit. This is the longer suit. You go 4th down from the top, that's the 4 of diamonds. You lead that card on opening lead, okay? If you have 2 longish suits, let's say you have 2 equal length suits of at least 4 cards each, all right? You look at both 4-card suits and you choose the suit that has the better honors. So when you look at this hand, you've got a 4-card diamond suit, you've got a 4-card spade suit, and now you're moving on to the strength part of longest and strongest. Strongest means high cards, right? Points. So when you look at these 2 suits, the spade suit has better honors. So you're going to choose the spade suit as your opening lead suit. 4th down from the top would put you at 3 spades. So far, so good. If you have 2 4-card equal length suits and they both have the same honors or honor, how are you going to decide which of those suits to lead? Well, this is when you start looking at the spot cards. So when you look at these 2 suits, the spade suit has 4 cards with a queen, the diamond suit has 4 cards with a queen, same thing. How do you know what to do? Well, the strongest aspect of the 4th down and longest and strongest can also mean which one has the better spot cards. We have the queen 9 here, we have the queen 5 here. Okay, by the time we get to the 2nd card in each suit, there's a clear winner. So I would lead the spade suit here, and my opening lead would be 4th down, the 4 of spades. Okay, the caveat here on the 4th down and the longest and strongest suit is this: don't make an opening lead against the opponent's trump contract by leading 4th down the longest and strongest suit if that suit has the ace in it. Disregard that as a possible opening lead suit. Find a different suit. And when we get to series 2, we're going to talk about what if you don't have another suit that's at least 4 cards. How do you make a lead then? We're not worrying about that yet. If in our playing between now and then you do encounter that, guess. All right, that's the best you can do until you know. If, for instance, you have a hand that looks like this, you have you certainly have two longish suits. You would always choose the longer of two longish suits. You've got 5 spades, you've got 4 diamonds, but when you look at both suits, even though you were thinking of leading the 4 of diamonds, this suit is topped by the ace. Nope, disregard it. Not on opening lead. Go to the other suit. And on this hand, then, you would lead as opening lead 4th down the 3 of diamonds. All right? So what you're doing here when you lead 4th down in the longest and most strongest suit is you are specifically telling your partner. All right? Oh, wait, I have a mistake here, that you do not. Okay, that's better. When you lead, if you were to lead the 4 of spades here, you would be telling your partner you specifically do not have the ace. Okay? And that's not true. It's a common agreement on defense that an opening leader does this. You're telling your partner you don't have the ace. You're also telling the opponents you don't have the ace, and that may sound strange, but bridge is a game of full disclosure. You're not allowed to lie to the opponents because it's not poker. That's a concept we'll get into as we move into the spring together, but this is actually called a game of full disclosure. It's hard enough to play if everybody knows what's going on anyway. You're not allowed to lie. You should not lie to your partner, and you're not allowed to lie to the opponents. This is not bluffing. This is not poker. So don't lead the 4 of diamonds here because you would be specifically saying you do not have the ace. Okay? All right, there's plenty more to opening leads against trump contracts. We'll do that in series 2 when we get there. All you need to walk away with now is top of touching honors and 4th down in the longest and strongest suit. So I'm hoping you found some of this useful. Again, in your packet, the last couple of pages are sort of the summary of what you need to walk away with. I am not walking through this in our first trump play of the hand class. This I'm treating as a separate module. That's why I'm giving you the paperwork and the link to this video. You watch it at your leisure. I'm happy to answer questions. I may reference it as we work through our first class on trump play of the hand. But this is a defense topic, and our trump play of the hand is offense. I'm going to just talk about opening leads on the side, but this module, this video, and the packet, I'm hoping, gives you information from the opponent's point of view of what kind of opening leads they may have made and what impact that has when you're the declarer in a trump contract. Okay? All right, so if you have questions, just send me a note. I'm happy to answer them.